Oh my gosh, I'm actually going live. I can't believe I'm finally doing this. I have been terrified to go live. It's so funny. So, well, first, why I decided to finally go live. I had a client last night, and she only came in for one session because it was gifted, and I wanted to just like give her all of the information that I could. And I was like heartbroken because I didn't have videos. I couldn't point her in a direction of me giving her some virtual coaching of how I could do that for her. So what I want to cover today, I've wanted to do this video for a long time, and unfortunately my fear had gotten in the way. So what I wanted to cover kept growing and growing and growing about why, not your why, like the big why, but questioning everything like a little kid. So I've actually narrowed it down because my list of what I wanted to talk about kept growing. So I narrowed it down to decluttering and like how getting dressed like a little kid is so powerful, because I recognize that so often we do things for other people. And a few years ago, I started questioning like everything in my life. And one of the ways that it really helped me was figuring out what I was doing for myself and what I was doing for other people. And our appearance tends to be, unfortunately, a lot of times for other people instead of for ourselves. And so that's why I'm going to focus on clothing, particularly, and how that can help us figure out who we are better. So like, think about like when you get dressed in the morning. You can think about any topic. I'm just going to use getting dressed or getting ready, and I challenge you to ask yourself why at least 20 times. Like, seriously, act like a little kid that's just like, why? 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 So if you take the example of like getting dressed, when you're getting dressed, are you loving what you're putting on? Do you dig through your closet and like can't find anything and it's all frustrating you and you recognize that it's all for somebody else? I hear people say things like this all the time of, oh, well, I get home and like, I just want to put on my comfy clothes. And I hear women specifically say things like this all the time. And they're like, oh, well, guys just don't understand. They just don't understand what it's like. You're choosing it though. If you are choosing to put on tight jeans that are uncomfortable and to wear uncomfortable shoes and to do your hair and makeup in a way that's a pain in the butt for you, why are you doing it? If it's not for you, and if it's not like sharing the genuine side of you that you want to share, then why are you doing it? You're doing it for somebody else. So questioning everything of the Marie Kondo way of decluttering is, does this bring me joy? I love looking at things that way. I would urge to go a little bit further of why, because you might discover something else that you want to let go of in your life. So if you're putting on something that is uncomfortable and you're going to be miserable in it all day because it's not comfortable, why? Is it for somebody else? Is it because you feel like you need to be wearing that or portraying yourself a certain way? What would it be like if you were fully authentically you? Decluttering can be a huge way of figuring out those things of, oh, well, I need to wear this because the last time that I went to see this group of people, I wore this, and so I can't wear that again because they've already seen me in it. Sorry, I almost cursed. That's one of the things that keeps me from doing live videos, because I want to curse all the time. So really questioning why. So what this will do is it can increase your gratitude for something. For example, like if you know me in real life, I wear some of the same things all the time because they make me happy and I love them. So like when I put on something, I want to be able to really feel great in it. So when you are putting something on, you ask yourself why. It can either help you recognize that you're doing it for somebody else, or it can help you recognize why you love something so much. So when you put on clothing, for example, and you ask yourself, like, why am I choosing this? You should be able to, or the goal, I don't like the word should. The goal is that then when you put it on, you feel great in it, and you then can grow your gratitude for that item because you're recognizing why you love it so much. It's flowy, it's fun, I don't have to wear a bra with it, one of my favorites, boob jail as I call it. And finding those things that really, like, you put it on, you feel great in it. let's see, fun pants that like when you put them on, it's like, yes, this is great. Like it's going to be a fun day because I'm wearing these fun pants. I know that every job doesn't allow that. And so that's then something that you could go even deeper with that and figure out, oh, well, is this something, does portraying myself this way for this job mean that much to me? If it does, then great. Then find a way to find gratitude for that. Also, hair and makeup. I hear ladies complain all the time about like, oh, well, I have to do this. What you want to look for when you're evaluating things in your life and when you're asking yourself why a gazillion times, which is a fun thing to do, keep a playful spirit with how you're asking why. Don't be like, why? I need to find the answer for this. Have it be a fun and playful, like, okay, like why? And then you get an answer in your head and then go a step further. Why? Why? And just keep asking yourself why until you get to the root of something that will help you grow. So being playful about it, and just keeping like a sense of wonder, paying attention for words like I have to, or I need to, or I should. If you're saying I need to do XYZ or I have to, find a way to switch it to I get to, I look forward to, I choose to, because everything that you're doing, you're choosing to. If you have to wear something specific for a certain job, you chose that job. You are continuing to choose that job every day. So find a way to find gratitude for it or change it. And if you're feeling like you should, yeah, don't should on yourself. I can talk about that all day. And I just said should earlier in this video. So yeah, smack for me. If it's like other people, let's see, sense of wonder and play. Oh, the hair and makeup. That was one of the other things. I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, but if you're putting something on you're bitching about it essentially, then quit doing it or find a way to have gratitude for it. Like act as if you literally cannot lie and see what comes up of why am I wearing this? Don't let yourself get away with an easy answer like, oh, I have to. If it's a job requirement, fine. But if that's the job requirement, then go further into why that specific thing makes you happy. As I mentioned, and I don't think I finished my train of thought earlier, when I hear people talking about like, oh, well, I have to wear all this. If only you were a girl and you recognize like what it's like to be a girl and oh, it's so terrible to have to put on these clothes. When I hear girls like bitch about things like that, you are choosing it. If you're choosing to wear the high heels, if you're choosing to wear the tight jeans, then that's your choice. Don't complain about it. Find a way to find gratitude and find a way to say like, oh, this makes me feel empowered. This makes me feel put together. Whatever it is, if you're choosing to wear something, then own it. It's so easy for me to do the decluttering and clothing. There's so many other ways that you can ask why. So decluttering is one of the ways. So if you're familiar with the Marie Kondo decluttering, is you hold something and you ask if it sparks joy. So this is just kind of a twist on that of why. So I totally believe in the Marie Kondo thing. I think that everything around you should spark joy. Everything in your life should make you extremely happy, because think of what it would be like if you wake up and you look around your physical space and you absolutely love everything. And you're excited to get up and start your day because you love everything in your life. If you start with your physical belongings, that will then change, the Wayne Dyer quote, when the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's so true. So if you can recognize that you're a co-creator of your life and shift the things in your life. Clothing is such an easy thing to do. Also, all the surroundings of looking at like, okay, do I really love these things? Like, do I really love this mug? Yes, I do. I love it. Looking at every single thing in your surrounding, and what would it be like if you are surrounded by everything that you love? Like, how inspired would you be? How true to yourself? You would recognize that you're not just a sheep. You're not putting something on because, or filling your spaces because it's what you're supposed to do. It's what you should do. If style and being in style matters to you, then that's great. As if you recognize that and you recognize that like one of the reasons that you have your hair and makeup done a certain way, or you're wearing the clothes you have, or you have the home decor that you have is because it's in style and that aligns with your values. Perfect. Own it. Recognize that, and then you'll have more gratitude for that. Act as if you are like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, and you literally cannot tell a lie. And just tell your subconscious mind that whatever you ask, you will get a truthful answer. And then start asking things about your daily life. You'll have a lot more clarity about why you're doing some things. You might be surprised if you ask and then you let your mind be silent for a second and see the answer that comes up. It is really astonishing. So I really urge you to try it, like saying why 20 times, let's say within an hour time frame. It could be asking why 10 times for a certain thing of, well, I'm going to the office. Here's an example. So what time is it? All right, so it's 10 o'clock? Yeah, 10 o'clock. So it's 10 o'clock. I am going to the office at 10:45 to get a massage myself, which is great. So I need to get there. I've chosen to go to the office to get a massage, and I then need to get there. So how am I going to get there? So many people, when they travel, they say, well, yeah, like I get in my car and drive because I have to get there. Like that's how that works. Well, there's other options. So going further and further and further into why? Okay, why are you getting in the car that you chose? Do you love that car? How do you feel in it? So you can tweak the questions too, other than just why. So if you're getting in your car to drive and you don't love it, is that something you can change? Is there something, could you clear out and declutter your car and love it more? If you got it detailed, would you love it more? Do you need to trade that in for something else? Or do you want to take an Uber or a Lyft because you don't really like driving? That's me a lot of times. We had a discussion about this last night. Even if I haven't drank or anything, since that's usually when people take Ubers or out of town, I still a lot of times take an Uber because I don't like to drive or worry about parking. So there's other options for transport as well. Instead of just taking your car, the car that you have, you could get a different car. You could ride your bike. You could take public transit. In Louisville, that's not like as easy as a lot of the bigger cities, but I love taking the Target. That's one of the things that I started questioning like last year. I was like, I don't really like driving. I don't like it for a variety of reasons. I want to promote sustainability. And so I don't want to drive somewhere. If there's an easy TARC route, then I take it. I'm really lucky that my house is close to my office. So I don't like driving. I have started riding my bike most of the time. And what that gives me is so much joy. It's so much groundedness and presence that since I've started trying different things, and then I recognized, I'll continue on with that example, I recognized that I love riding my bike to and from work. Why? Again, asking yourself why continually. Well, it clears my mind. I feel like I slow down on that transit and I can appreciate my neighborhood more. I've been able to connect with neighbors more. I've stopped and like talked to people, or even just waving. You feel more connected. And it really grounds me. When I'm going to work, I am already starting to think about the clients I'm going to see that day, the way that I can help them. And I am saying gratitudes over and over to myself the whole way there. And then on the way back, it's really good to clear my mind. It's really good to be grateful for the day. And for me, it's easier doing that on a bike. That's just me. So that is not saying that everyone needs to ride a bike or take the TARC. I also have a vehicle, so I take that a lot as well. But going through something in your day and asking why 20 times and see what you come up with. Yeah, an easy one is the appearance. And like I said, I wanted to get on the live video because I decided to do live instead of recording it because I knew that otherwise I would record it and get scared and not put it up, or I would try it like 20 different times, and I didn't want to do that because I want to be more productive with my time. If I would have recorded this, I definitely would not be posting it. So thanks for watching and your patience, and let me know what you find if you go through that playful asking why. If you have kids, you recognize what that's like, of like, why? And I see it so often and I totally understand. I was a foster parent and I've been a nanny. And when you're asked why a ton of times, yeah, it's easy to just be like, because we have to, or because this. So let's twist that again of actually think about the answers that you're giving your kids or kids in your life about why. And then stop and question it yourself. You might be surprised what you discover. Again, the goal is to either find more gratitude for something because you dig deeper and you really recognize why you are choosing it. It's supposed to be empowering that you are choosing this by asking why. And then the other option or the other thing is you recognize that this doesn't serve you and that it's something that you want to let go, and then find a way that you can do that and something else that you can bring in that would be more empowering. So let me know as you go through that if you do that whole asking why and how that goes. So, thanks for bearing with me as I get over my fears to try to be able to help more people. Yay. All right, so now how to end these. Whoa. Hi.
Are you still recording?